Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. We recently did a video, as you can see on the screen there, on a 200 series VDJ, whatever, VD, you know, it had a bit of VD, it had the rear main seal oil leak. I wasn't able to stick around and get the video footage of that rear main seal oil leak, but I do have some photos. So firstly, what I was going to do is show you the photos of the oil leak. So let's have a look at those. So now that you've had a look at the photos with the oil leak and the mess the way it was before, I've got a couple other photos of the work the guys did. You know, they cleaned it all up. You can notice the new seal in there, and you can see it's all been cleaned in around the bell housing on the transmission housing, if you know what I mean. So you can have a look at those as well. I'll show you those photos. So I suppose that concludes that. That's your you know, inspection on the 200 series. That's the oil leak before. Obviously everything's been rectified and it's gone back together. Now we're just going to continue on to answer a few important questions that people have been asking. And I suppose the key thing before you do go ahead and ask questions in the comments are good, but if it's a lot of questions, unfortunately we haven't got the time, and it's not possible that we can answer all those questions. So what would be good for you is if you try searching our channel. So first, what you can do, you can browse our playlist. For example, one of the last questions currently 8 hours ago, it's in regard to transmissions. You know, the video is called Worst Thing About Prado 1GD FTV 6-speed, right? And it's the torque converter's unlocked and it's slipping. Now, he says, how can you tell that it's slipping? And what are the ideal operational behaviors? When you make these sorts of videos, it's helpful to know that not everyone is competent. And how can you tell the gearbox temperatures? Okay, so what you need to understand is when I make these videos, it's like you've come along and you're watching Star Wars Part 4. You've got to watch Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 first. Now in this case, it's not a movie that goes for 2 or 3 hours. We're talking about 5, 10, 15 minute segments, on average about 10 minutes, one video a day. But unfortunately, you're behind. So if it's a transmission subject you want to look at, what you do, you browse through our playlists. As I've said before, there's about 20 different subheadings. One of them is called, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, it's called automatic transmission. So what you need to do is get into that playlist, watch and listen carefully to all those videos, because those videos have the information and answers. There's no point me repeating myself as I am now, explaining it all over. Although we will do that, we like to do things a few times over, because each time I do it, I may get better at it or worse at it, or on a different vehicle in a different perspective, and I'm in a different state of mind, and I may explain it better. So, but people do regularly comment, and they tell me that I'm really good at explaining things really clear. So I hope that's the case. Next bit of question. Another important question somebody's asked, and it's to do with the drive shaft. So the video was called Changing Out the Drive Shaft CV on Toyota Hilux KUN 26R. And the question is, what is the deal with aftermarket shafts? Like, not even just four-wheel drives. Every aftermarket shaft I've ever had has lasted like 6 months max. Whether it be on a Subaru or four-wheel drive, please don't swear. Often your comments won't be put up. If you write a nice comment and it's got a swear word in it, most often you're going to be wasting your time, and you need to just leave the swear word out, please. There's all keywords in there, and it's not going to go up. Anything like that, any personal attacks, anything, even if you want to have a go at me, it's not going to go up there. It's not what we're about. We're here to help people, and people that know less than me, I'm helping them. If you know more than me, you don't need to watch, so you can just move on. But we know some people want to promote themselves like they're the best and they know more than me and they taught me everything, but in actual fact, they're not that good. They didn't teach anyone anything, and they are watching all the videos on every YouTube channel to get themselves educated, just like the non-qualified people DIYs, which is absolutely awesome. That's fine. The only little extra I'll add in there is be careful who you listen to. Listen to me, not other people, because you get mixed information, conflict, and you know, that gets a bit confusing. So study my channel hard. You'll find it's genuine, accurate information, and that's why we do the videos, to demonstrate why. So to answer that question, what's the deal with aftermarket shafts? They're crap. They're made in China. They're made to a budget. It's crap rubber. They're just rubbish. It's rubbish recycled material. You know all that rubbish scrap metal you sent them? Well, they sent you back some rubbish as well. It looked like a drive shaft, but it wasn't. It was just rubbish. That's why we stick with genuine. I don't know about other brands. I'm sick of rubbish cars. I like Toyotas. They're quality. The CVs, the drive shafts last ages. The boots last ages. Went through that in the video. Just stick with genuine with the Toyotas. That's what we work on. That's all we're really going to talk about at this point in time. I'm just going to mention again, everybody's been really awesome, and thank you for hanging around this long into the video. It's not that long, but the people that are listening and watching to the end, doing the right thing, contacting me for the parts on Monday, first thing in the morning, Melbourne time, you know, 8 or 9 a.m, that text message. Hi, my name's Jack Daniels. I've got a 2015 Hilux with 150,000 Ks on. I'm after a BFE kit. Or my name's Jim Beam, and I've got a 2012 150 Prada. I'm after a set of injector kit, and I want the whole kit, excluding nothing, because I'm doing the job myself. Or I've got a 2010 150 Prado, and I'm taking it to your recommended repairer Martin in Sydney. So I just need what he needs to get the job done right. I don't need any of the extra tools, freebies, and the molly coat. So watch that video called Latest Injector Information. It was January. It's a little bit out of date. It's pretty well right. I think that it included, we don't include the plate anymore. Everybody, whether you're bringing the vehicle to our workshop, one of the workshop partners, or buying your kit, you need to get onto kaon.com.au. If you want that plate in your vehicle, it's a DIY thing. Purchase that 7mm plate hole, bada bing, you know what I mean? Get in there, purchase the plate, make sure you got that on hand on your keyring, because when the job comes up, we don't buy, sell, or install them, so we can't help you with that. So make sure you're prepared with that. Now I'm just going to quickly go through some information here on this page, as we have before, like Star Wars. You know how they go like that, you know? Anyway, so just quickly, you want the phone number. Somebody said the phone number. Hang on, where are we? It's got to take a minute to focus. It's got to take a minute to focus because, hang on, here we go, I'll help it. Oh God, this is ridiculous. What have I done to it? Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Phone number, you can't even, what is going on there, right? It's focused way out here. Come on, surely, there we go. Look at that. Right, anyway, you can see the phone number. If you need to, pause it. You can see all the groups. You can see the pages. You can see the operating hours, right? Because we've got other work to do. We're on the tools during the week and all that sort of getting other aspects of the business done. And once you're a client, you can join the VIP group, which is the maximum information group. You need to join that yourself. It's a Facebook group, okay? I don't put you in there or send you some special invite. You just need to look it up like any of our other Facebook groups, as I just showed you, and join the group answering the 3 questions. And if that looks good and you're a client, you'll be let in. If you're not, you might be blocked or something like that. So if you never want to be a client, then you can try and join and get blocked, and happy days either way, right? Okay, somebody asked further about the CVs, right? In my experience, would I replace the boots or re-grease, you know, signs of deterioration? Okay, in my experience on the Toyota shafts, you get about 350,000 Ks of them, at least about 10 years, unless you get a puncher, right? Now, there's 2 ways to look at it. Oh, it's only done 80,000 Ks and I've got a puncher. Quick, let's change the boot and whatever. Well, you don't know what's got in there, so at least you've got to take it off, clean it up, re-grease it, inspect it, and it'll probably be okay, and you can put a boot kit on it. But the boot kit is going to be about, I don't know, 150 bucks, plus all your labour and your grease and your mucking around, time-consuming, messy job, and you can get the whole shaft for about 500 bucks, whatever. I go, for the sake of $500, right, and take off what it's going to cost you, the grease and the mucking around, so for 100 or 2 extra, right, sticking with genuine parts, I'd put a brand new genuine shaft in it. That's what I did. The only look, I can't stand waste, so that's a bit of a problem I've got, and that's what messes with me. On someone's car that I know, you know, they're not made of money, or, you know, I'm trying to be value and save money, maybe on an older car. I'm tempted to go, oh look, we've got some old shafts over there, let's pick the good boot and we'll do the, it's just a messy crap job. And you know what, eventually, sooner or later, and there could be a chance that water's got in there, dirt's got in there, it's created wear, and you've just wasted your time anyway. So in my opinion, don't muck around. If you're doing it as general maintenance at about 350, 400,000, just replace the whole shafts. You can leave them there longer if you want, doesn't matter. I've never heard a noise or a click from a Toyota Driveshaft on these Prados and Hiluxes. The boots at 100 or 150 or 200, it's not so much the case. After a few years, you'll start to see the grease on the CV boots start to weep out on those inner boots. From those clamps, you can tighten up if you want. For me, I just go whatever, and even if a bit of dirt and water's getting in there, they still last many more years. It just keeps going on and on, which is why I go, don't waste time on it. That's normal. Keep driving, and then if it gets noisy, you can replace it. If it gets playing and it's rattling around or something like that, or whatever happens, then you just put a whole shaft in it. If you want to know a number to go, you know, what's a good time to just throw some fresh shafts in it? 350,000 Ks comes to mind. Somebody said, I did a video how to spot the difference in the injector clamps, and somebody completely off topic, can you show how to bleed air after service or changing the injector? Well mate, it's you know, that's in other videos. So again, you have to search that sort of thing you may not find until you're in the VIP group. So when you purchase the parts kit, if you can't purchase the parts kit, it's just one of those unfortunate things. You can purchase a membership to the VIP group. I've said before, how much did I say it was? I don't know. For a lifetime, $500. I don't do the $9.99 a month or whatever, right? We do $550, including GST, for a lifetime, as long as you behave yourself and you don't swear. Anybody that carries on, okay, some people think you're not allowed to discuss things. No, that's where you've got it wrong, okay? Now, my information is good, but I'm open to discussion, and I'm definitely open and I welcome feedback, and I would like to receive that to my text message on the phone. And if required, I'll text you and say, do you mind if we have a phone call about it? Because I prefer to talk like this and put some voice and tone to it. Can you tell I don't get cranky, I don't get upset, I'm always smiling, happy days, whatever, right? Now, what's disappointing is when people let you down and when they start carrying on, and then you're trying to discuss something with them or explain it, and they start getting personal and they start swearing and carrying on. That's just going to get you muted or removed, whatever the case may be, blocked, whatever, right? So just be warned, that's why you get removed. Recently, we actually had an incident where somebody started carrying on and swearing, personal attacks, right? Personally attacking me, has the information and the facts completely wrong. So for a lack of better words used, I said, you know, can you please control her? You know what I mean? Wrong word, you know, sort of like, you know, it wasn't a big thought on, you know, I'm not your therapist. You need to go see someone or take your medication, you two, whatever the case may be. But it's not my job to provide therapy and write out a script. How do I write to these people so they're happy with the way that I write it? When you start making personal attacks, swearing and accusations in text messages, right? In messages, you know, text messages to the phone, text on Facebook, on any of our groups or pages, including my profile, anything. It's just a good way to get yourself removed. Of course, I haven't got time for this crap, and this is why I'm mentioning it now, because I don't even want to do this, but I've just got to let you know, it's bada bing, you're out of here, right? You swore, your personal attacks, unnecessary, wrong information. I haven't got time for all that drama. Anyway, let's move on from it, eh? Please show some love to the petrol V6. Look, you know, we've got a few V6 videos. The fact of the matter is, there's just not the majority of them. We don't see them, you know. Hiluxes, we see diesels. Pradas, we see diesels. Rarely do we see any V6s, and I've said this before, kind of serious but jokingly, they can't afford to get them serviced because they're paying for the fuel. They've got to do it themselves. And it's probably true, but, you know, I'm just having a bit of a joke around, so have a laugh. Somebody says they've never seen me mention front upper control arm bushes, right? So the front upper control arm bushes, don't they wear out? Well, they probably do, but we've never seen them that they're cracked or they've got play in them, you know. So in servicing, obviously, what we do in videos, we're showing you the things you need to check. So when we check vehicles, we grab the upper arms, give them a bit of a, up, down, left, right, this and that. You get a bit of movement out of them, but, just the rubber flexing movement. We've never seen... What we talk about is what you need to worry about. So if we don't talk about it, basically no news is good news in general. I'm not sure if I've mentioned already, but the Prado with a problem that... look, I put it in the playlist, all the ones I couldn't fix. You should watch that. You might have a laugh. You can see all the things I can't figure out. Now, it's not maybe that I can't figure it out. It's just the time that it would take. Or, like, to be quite honest, the 120, my next guess. So we did a few things, right? I don't spend a lot of time on things. I want to get things done quickly. If this is going to drag out, I lose it. I'm not into it, right? So... I'm not sort of big noting myself, but the key thing is here, you learn. And how do you learn? Give you a little bit of wisdom here, right? I don't know everything. I just want to be clear. I don't know everything. I've said it before. But you learn from your mistakes. That's one thing. But even better than that, learn from everyone else's mistakes. Now, I don't know what that's got to do with it. What was my point there? I don't know. I don't know what the point was, but... learn from everyone else's mistakes, definitely. See what happens around you from other people, and whether it's people or companies or governments or whatever, you learn from their mistakes, even if they don't learn. Okay, so what was the point here? The 120 Prado. My next guess was an ECU. So basically, this is what happened. We'll just quickly run through it for a minute or two. The vehicle came in, they said what was happening. From what they described, and the lack of issues we have with these vehicles, I've gone on basically an assumption. I'll be honest, I didn't even drive the car. I didn't want to drive the car until I know it's got the long suction control in, because what they described was consistent with a problem with the suction control valve. There was no extra fuel filter, hasn't been off-road, doesn't go off-road, this sort of thing. So we chucked a suction control valve in it. Guess what? It didn't make any difference. I did explain to them before I did the job, I'm going to educated guess, but I'm going to guess this is your problem. I'm going to, either way it needs it, this is what I'm saying. So it needs it, it's got the short one, it's rubbish. I'm not going to go a step further. So we did that, didn't make any difference. Okay, so then I drove the vehicle, I felt the flat spot, and I went, that's just like it's dropping the throttle completely. I know these vehicles very well, and I'm not big noting myself, but I'm kind of smart and good at working these things out easy, if you know what I mean. I'm good at working out the easy way. Maybe the easy way is, it's kind of guessing because you know how the vehicles work so well, if you know what I mean. It's hard to explain to you. It's kind of a guess, but it's really well educated because I've got the understanding of the vehicle. Anyway, I went, that is like either the throttle, the accelerator pedal, the electronics in there must be dropping out at a certain resistance, whatever. So again, we could have done tests, quicker, easiest way, one plug and 2 nuts or bolts, whatever, bang, swap it with the car next to it, and we did that. And guess what? No change. That had me dumbfounded. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I drove it again and I felt it. And I went, this is not anything else. This doesn't make sense. So straight away, my next guess was an ECU, but I'm not going to guess and put an ECU in it. We did some other basic checks. We did a few things. We cleaned the throttle body, checked that end up there because they sort of work together as well. And other than that, we thought possible wiring problem, but it was all original factory, hadn't been off-road, again, hadn't been wet, muddy, modified. We checked all that and I went, I don't believe it's wiring, it's Toyota quality, it's not some Chinese cheap bloody budget manufactured vehicle or something like that. When I say Chinese, I just want to be clear, I mean like Chinese communist government type when I say it, you know what I mean, and cheap ass manufacturing or whatever. Anyway, so that's what I mean. I don't want to sound like, like I hate Chinese people, of course, no discrimination here on any subjects. Each to their own, it's all good, there's good and bad in everyone, right? So what I'm trying to get at is ECU was my next guess. I didn't believe there was going to be a wiring problem, but I didn't have time to check and test all these things, so we forward those to one of our partners, one of our workshop partners. He loves electronics, he loves doing the electronic setups, the dual batteries, the electrical. To be quite honest, I like it too. If I didn't have any other work to do, and I had the time to sit there and spend days on one car, running wires and conduits and crimping and soldering and making it beautiful, mate, I'll do that, no problem. But I just don't have the time to do it. We've got to pump out some other work, some other jobs. So he's the man for that. We can hook you up, we can help you with that. But the point is, he continued the diagnostic. He went and checked all the other things and the ECU and couldn't actually find a fault with it, which this is the problem. When you've got an intermittent fault like that, you can't diagnose it. So you've actually got to do guess-gnostics, swap-gnostics, and that's what happened. An ECU out of another car. So after spending hours on it, after, you know, I could have said, hey, my guess was right in the first place. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You don't get any awards for saying, told you so, I was right, whatever. So, but the point is, the swap gnostic happened, right? It got swapped with another vehicle, and you had to drive it a long time sometimes to get it to fault. So that all happened, all that testing happened, because you want to be really confident before you spend a couple of grand on an ECU. Anyway, that's what happened. In the end, got the go-ahead from the client. You want a second-hand one from the wreckers or a new one? They went for new. The new one went in there. It's been a couple of weeks, so no news is good news. So there, I've explained the outcome on that one. Hope you copped that. I might have done it in another video as well. So if we get the vehicle back here, we will get it back one day, I believe. And it will get injectors replaced properly because they've been done previously, and you know it's going to be another bad news story. We already know that, which is why it'll be coming back to get done one way or the other. We know it doesn't need a suction control valve, that's done. It's going to need an EJAR clean. The map filter is going to be cracked and leaking everywhere unless we change that. Actually, I think we might have changed it because we wanted to eliminate that as well. That might have been one of the basic checks we did at the start after changing the SCV. Process of elimination, including the basics, you know. There's no point trying to see why your engine blowing smoke if your air filter's blocked, right? So you check the filter, you change it, you clean the sensors, you make sure everything's in normal peak service operating condition before you start trying to do a diagnostic side of things. Anyway, guys, look, I just wanted to provide some answers on the Qs, the Q&As, the A's for the Qs. Hopefully that's helped, and a bit of feedback. So it's a bit of a, I don't know what we're going to call this one, a feedback and answers video. Hope you liked it. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on, check out all other videos. And if you've got a question, check our playlists. Go and check those playlists. If you've got questions, try not to ask your questions in the comments. You can if you like. If you hate Facebook, I understand, that's fine. Stay off it. But if you're on Facebook, the only reason you want to be on there is these 10 reasons here, right? Okay, they're your basic 10 reasons you want to be on Facebook, right? Bada bing, whatever. I'm not telling you to get on there. I'm not going to do that anymore. I think, you know, you should for the VIP group, that sort of thing. You're missing out a bit. But that doesn't mean you've got to put your real name, your real photo, what you had for breakfast, how you're feeling, and all that sort of crazy stuff like I do. You can just, like a lot of people, right? You know, you just get on there, you put a picture of the side of your Hilux, you call yourself Jack Hilux, you join the group, and you might need to write in the answer, hey, I've just joined because Anthony said, you know, whatever. And I might even say, hey, text me, you know, we'll text you a secure code, whatever. Because we don't want rubbish in our groups, right? So simple as that. If anyone plays up, they're out the door. So we keep it a nice place for you. Anyway, I'm still talking. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, bell on. See ya.